righty. Hey there. Good morning. I am meteorologist Ben Peine here on Ben at 10 on this Monday, September the 22nd. There you can see what we're going to be talking about. A little tease. Look at all that rainfall finally across the area as we begin, as promised, a wetter weather pattern across the area. This should put a good dent in the drought conditions across the area. Small chance that we might get a couple strong thunderstorms later this afternoon, but pretty wet across the area. So obviously, we're going to talk a lot about the rain and more rain chances through this week. Excuse me, coming up here throughout the Ben at 10 show. If you're new to the program, thanks for watching, whether it's on my page here, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Peine, or whether you're watching on Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, or extolmag.com/weather. So we saw that we have the rain across the area, so that's going to be our big topic for today. And we're going to be seeing more rain chances throughout this week, but I think we're going to time it out pretty good with drying conditions for this weekend, a little bit cooler around the area as well with some of this rain. So here's your weather headlines as we get started. Scattered rain and storms throughout the day today. Kind of a washout in southern Indiana for much of the day. I think we'll see more dry time tomorrow. We'll get a break in the rain, especially Tuesday afternoon. And then looking pretty wet again Wednesday as we're going to have a slow upper level low pressure system moving through the area. This will give us, again, more rounds of some showers and thunderstorms before we start to dry things out as we head into the weekend. So the play ball forecast today, some things might get canceled. Outdoor events this afternoon, maybe some after school practices. But our tennis match is probably not going to happen today, or my son's tennis match, with upper 70s, cloudy, and a nearly 100% chance of the showers and thunderstorms across the area. So again, if you're new to the show, typically we give you the forecast, boom, right off the bat. And then we'll dive deeper into the forecast through about 10:20 or so. And then right around 10:20, we will dive deep into the weather models, the nerdy portion of the Ben at 10 program. And then we'll look at your long-range forecast. We'll probably take a look into October as well here coming up in just a second. Thanks for popping in the comments as well. Thank you, Melvin Hardin there, just west of Salem, where I was just west of Salem playing at Western Hills. And I was at the Salem Speedway this weekend as well. So had a bunch of fun time in Salem this weekend. So a third of an inch of rainfall. Thanks for that report there, Melvin. And thanks for letting us know where you're watching from as well. If you're just popping in for a good morning comment. Good morning here from Beverly Hagest in Borden, Indiana. A couple thunderstorms moving through this morning. Yep, and we're going to take a look at those here in just a second too. Orlean, Whitlow. We've only had a trace of rain in Hodgenville. Yeah, you guys down to the southeast, as we bring this up, are drier so far this morning. Let me go get rid of that and bring this up here. Yeah, we've got Dennis Gregory popping in here. Am I going to be able to walk it all today? Well, you might just have to grab some of the rain gear there, Dennis, if you want to take a walk around. But here's a look at all that rain that we have across the area, just slowly moving in from the west and southwest. But you can see it is drier south of Louisville right now and for areas southeast. So for Orlean down in Hodgenville, you've got mostly dry conditions. But as you can see, we've got quite a bit of rain across the area moving through southern Indiana here this morning. And good to see. Good to have something to talk about as well as a meteorologist. So good stuff here with the rain across the area. And, of course, we're going to dive a lot more into that here coming up in just a moment. Before we do that, let me get rid of this here full screen. Let me go to extolmag.com/weather. So if I hit the refresh button here and pop it up, you can find your weather resources. Got the live show up right now. There is your interactive radar with a colorful radar thanks to the rain that we have across the area. You can look at your day one and day two severe weather outlooks as well. So as I bring up the day one severe weather outlook, there is a slight risk of severe storms east of I-65 in Kentucky. So it's level 2 out of 5. So it looks like areas just off to the east may see some of those stronger thunderstorms. For us, we have that green over our area. That darker green indicates level 1 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories. It's called a marginal risk. So overall, it is a low risk of severe weather. But again, might get a couple strong thunderstorms at some point later on this afternoon. And again, going down here to the interactive radar, there is the big blob of rain And again, just what the doctor ordered, as we talked about last week, we definitely need the rainfall across the area. Let me see if I can pop on those lightning strikes. Getting a few rumbles of thunder. You can see a couple of those near Scottsburg. But again, nothing severe with this. Just some heavy rainfall, maybe some brief gusty winds, and some lightning and thunder. So you can get, again, that interactive radar right there anytime at extolmag.com/weather. And we could also take a couple different looks live outside. There is, look at the wet streets in New Albany, Indiana, here in uptown New Albany at the corner of Benson's and Market. It definitely a gloomy start. We haven't had a morning like this in quite some time. All right, and moving to another look outside. Bear with me 1 second here. We'll take a look at this camera view. So this is the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. So the fossil bed's getting some puddles out there this morning. And we've got JK's popping in from Iroquois Park. Thank you for watching. And if you missed it on Extol Unfiltered with myself and Angie Fenton, had my former co-worker Eric King on talking about the book that he wrote. So check out the replay if you didn't get to check that out at 9 o'clock this morning. All right, here we go. Moving right along on a Monday. Hope you guys had a good weekend. And I want to give a shout out to our partners here, Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You get free estimates here. Obviously, you don't want a leaky roof in this wet weather pattern that we have now. But if you have any issues or you want it checked out, you can also get a free estimate right here online. You can give them a call on either side of the river, 812-294-3595. Great family-owned company right here out of Southern Indiana, out of Memphis, Indiana. Also in Southern Indiana, you can get your coverage right here. Tell Michael Long that I sent you for a quote here with American Family Insurance. Go to amfam.com and then search Michael Long, and it'll take you to this page right here. Proud to be an American Star Certified Agency Excellence in Customer Experience. Got to play some golf with him yesterday out in Salem at Fun Scramble, benefiting the West Washington basketball program. So there you go. Michael Long and Libs Paving. They've got a careers section here. Not a great day for paving with the rain this week, but they have some jobs available for you. Just head to their Apply Now page, and then you can click Learn More and apply there online. Level up your career in your education. It is so easy to do right here in our backyard with Ivy Tech. Go to ivytech.edu, go to locations, go to Sellersburg, and right on time, you can head down here to Tuesdays at the Tech. So you can RSVP for your customized visit, how to get started at Ivy Tech, registering for classes, career development, how to pay for college. And so you can RSVP right there for that one-on-one assistance. All right, it is now time to dive into that forecast. And one last thing before we look at we got your weather jokes, we got your weather history, we've got it all here on the show this morning. And of course, we will take a look at the long range forecast, which we the good old Ben on a limb. One swig here from Big Happy. It's the last bit of coffee to get us charged up and rolling here on a Monday. All right. Bringing this up to the stage. And if you ever want to get in contact with me, weather question, whatever it might be, or if you want some advertising marketing solutions here throughout Southern Indiana and beyond, you can contact me, Ben at extolmag.com or Jason at extolmag.com. So, of course, today we are tracking the rain across the area, and we've got scattered rain and storms in the forecast today. We'll take a look at the radar, the live radar here in just a second again. I think we'll see more dry time tomorrow than today, and then we're back to some pretty wet conditions on our Wednesday. And then we'll be drying out, it looks like, by this weekend. So we'll take a look at that as well with the GFS weather model. Play ball forecast, looks like some things could be a rain out this evening with the scattered rain and storms continuing off and on. Temperatures in the upper 70s for this afternoon. So, again, grab the umbrella, grab some of that rain gear. Hey, fall officially begins today. Happy autumn at 2:29 p.m. Our autumn season begins with the autumnal equinox. The equinox means equal day, equal night, when the sun's rays are over the equator. We'll have average highs in the 60s in about 27 days, Halloween in 39, and average first flurries in 54 4 days. Our stupid weather jokes here today. Did you see the new movie about a tornado? It has a great twist. What is Santa's favorite weather? It's reindeer. These are bad. What's a tornado's favorite game? Twister. All right, we're going to move on. I'm going to give those like a 4 out of 10. All right, here's your weather history for today as well. We got a good morning popping in from Lillian Lasley. Love the rain. We need some more, and we will be getting that, Lillian. We'll be checking that out here in just a second. So today's weather history, way back in 1810, a place in England, Fernhill Heath, England, was struck by possibly Europe's widest tornado back in 1810. We got more 1800s weather history. In Strawberry, Arizona, 5 days after the storm, hail still had drifts of 12 to 18 inches deep. That is, I have seen storm chasing in Arizona, some crazy hailstorms out there. 1989, Hurricane Hugo, $3 billion, $7 billion in damage in the United States, $3 billion in the Caribbean. 1908, Indianapolis had rain after 39 consecutive days of dry weather, the record longest dry spell. 1908. 1998, another hurricane there. And 2006, the tri-state area of Missouri, Illinois, and Kentucky struck by the worst tornado outbreak in recorded history during the month of September. So even September can be a busy month. Forecast today, showers and thunderstorms, high of 78 degrees. And again, if you want to take a longer look at some of the weather history, I usually post that around noon on my Facebook page. So cloudy and cooler out there today with the rain. Looks like we'll be in the upper 70s for most areas. 67 are low for tonight with some scattered showers. And the forecast here for tomorrow, for your Tuesday, September the 23rd, 60s out the door, 77 at noon, 83 in the afternoon. Got it at about a 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow. I think the chances will increase tomorrow night, but I think we'll have a decent dry break late morning into the afternoon, especially for tomorrow. So not a washout for our Tuesday, but it looks pretty wet for our Wednesday. Going to 80% chance of scattered showers there, as this low pressure system is going to be right on top of us midweek. So upper 70s with a lot of clouds around, and then still some leftover showers. It looks like Thursday, it doesn't look like it's going to be too heavy with that rainfall. And then we should trend drier as we head into the weekend. So if you have some weekend plans for your first fall weekend, looks like we're in better shape there with some upper 70s and low 80s. Lillian Lasley coming in with 72 degrees at the house. And that probably is going to match up with what we have here. Go ahead and get rid of that and bring up this. So here, again, this is extolmag.com/weather with temperatures in the upper 60s in most locations. A little bit warmer where it's drier off to the south and southeast. So plenty to talk about here on the show here this morning as we're at 10:15. We'll start to look at the weather model data and another quick look outside as well with the damp roads here live in New Albany, Indiana. So there you can see the cloudy conditions that we have across the area. And we'll go ahead and bring back up the radar and satellite. As again, we've got something to talk about here this morning. So wet conditions, let me go ahead and bring up, there you can see this kind of blob of rain that we have. That's going to be moving through the area. I think it stays a little bit drier for longer if you're heading south down 65, south of Louisville. But you can see southern Indiana is getting drenched in much of the area for much of the day as well. So let's go ahead and bring up the live radar, and then we will bring up the hour-by-hour high-resolution weather models and plan out some more of this rainfall for today. So just waiting for this guy to load up here for a second. There we go. Bring it up full screen so we can do a little tour of the radar here this morning. You got heavy pocket of rain there just to the east of Crothersville, just east of Austin, between Crothersville and DuPont. Like Scott and into Jefferson County, you got that heavy rainfall, and then pockets of some good downpours as well through Jackson County and towards Brownstown, Medora getting in on some of that heavy rainfall. Surrounding Salem, we've got some good downpours. A little bit of a break around Pekin and through Borden right now. As we move into closer to the river, Charlestown, got some good rainfall there. And Sellersburg, again, this is not severe. Just get some healthy downpours across the area. And looking out to the west, we are getting wet here in Crawford County and Harrison County. You've got some healthy rain coming down here around Milltown and down into Corden this morning, and then into Louisville. Prospect, you've got a shower there, a little bit of rain just east of downtown, and then here into around the Bullitt and Spencer County line near Mount Washington. We've got a good downpour there as well, and then we kind of got a break over much of Kentucky. Once again, you head south of I-65, but there you can see more of that wet weather will be moving in from the west as we head through the rest of today. All right, so that is the tour of the radar here. And Mary, I guess, joining the chorus, I would say, saying, thank goodness. Yes, we need the rain. A lot of the ponds are low. A lot of the creeks have dried out. The yards are dried out. So this is definitely a good thing across the area, which we probably wouldn't be saying this the first half of the year because it was so wet, but then got a little too dry August and into September. So definitely a good thing that we've got going on here. Let me go ahead and bring up the future radar as we look ahead here, as we are now coming up to 10:18. So again, typically around 10:20, we'll bring up the weather model data. So it is picking up on the rain that we have out to around the area, I should say. It's got it a little bit farther west, though, so it's not perfect. It's got it, I'd say, yeah, it's not doing great picking up on where the rain is right now. So this is one of two weather models that we'll take a look at, and we'll see if the high-resolution rapid refresh weather model actually initializes a little bit better. But we'll take a look at both here. Let me go ahead and bring up the model again. And we'll move forward into time into this afternoon. So this is at 3 o'clock. That'll be loading up here. And you can see wetter overall today over southern Indiana. It looks like it stays drier for a bit longer east of I-65 in Kentucky. So that is a snapshot of later on this afternoon. Here after work, after school, still looking at scattered showers and some thunderstorms across the area. And later this afternoon is when we might see a couple of those stronger storms. This is a snapshot at 7 p.m. So multiple rounds of some showers and thunderstorms across the area. Mary Dale, thanks for watching here this morning. Grateful for the rainfall. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, we could see maybe around 1 to 3 inches of rainfall by later on this week total when you add it all up. So definitely good to get the rainfall across the area. So this is later on tonight around 9 p.m. Taking this into the late night hours. We got an update, live update from Melvin Hardin with now 0.4 inches of rainfall in the rain gauge there near Salem, Indiana. So still some spotty showers will be possible through the late night hours. This is at midnight. We'll go into tomorrow morning at around 7 o'clock. So if you're out the door early tomorrow morning for that morning commute, this is the trend I've been seeing for tomorrow. Kentucky, a better chance of some lingering showers in the morning time. Notice southern Indiana looks drier. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then as we go towards lunchtime, that'll be loading up here. You can see that rain starts to move towards the Tennessee state line. And I think we'll get a decent break for a decent chunk of our Tuesday as far as the rain goes. It looks like we'll have some dry time for tomorrow afternoon. So right here is around 3 to 4 o'clock. Little water break. And then tomorrow night, it looks like the models try to bring back in some scattered showers with another disturbance moving into the area. So again, overall, tomorrow I've got like a 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm, basically a 100% chance of rain today. Carolyn Bell, thanks for watching with the rain. Celebrating the rain across the area. All right, so then as we go into tomorrow night, this is around 7, 8 o'clock. We still have a chance for some spotty showers moving through the area. And then we're going to have this low pressure system sitting right on top of us as we head into, let me see how far out I can go with this weather model. We'll go into, so the 24th is our Wednesday. So pretty unsettled weather over much of the Ohio Valley and the Midwest with this low pressure system sitting on top of us. So just a wet week, which we have not been able to say in quite some time. So that is going into our Wednesday. And if this is going to be moving west to east, so that low pressure system is going to keep us under some saturated and soggy conditions here midweek into Wednesday. Okay, so that is the NAM 3 kilometer. I'm going to bring up the HRRR, high resolution rapid refresh weather model. And we'll take a look at this. Actually, I want to bring up, here's the hourly updated HRRR weather model, which does place the rain better than the NAM 3 kilometer. Again, we're getting into the nerdy hour by hour weather model section of our Ben 10 show this morning. So thanks for joining us. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop in the comments as well, whether you're watching in the afternoon or the evening time. So this is looking, I'm going to fast forward this just a little bit to this afternoon. So again, the trend overall, it looks like here for today, is that if you're east of I-65 in Kentucky, you'll be drier for longer for today. Southern Indiana, looking pretty soggy almost all the day, all of today. But there you can see that potential for some decent downpours from time to time as well. So that is a snapshot right there at 3 p.m. this afternoon. Looking ahead here, here's a look at 5 o'clock today. So the rain chances start to ramp up over more of Kentucky later this afternoon, evening time. So the Storm Prediction Center, notice these storms look stronger off to our east. So the air is more unstable off to our east. That's where there's a slight risk of severe storms today, where the ingredients are just a little bit better for the potential of some strong thunderstorms just off to the east. Let's see if I can bring up the Cape. So we've got a little bit of that energy for some strong thunderstorms here. This is the convective available potential energy. This would be your storm fuel. And it's enough. It's not crazy, but it's enough to get some strong thunderstorms, especially for areas just off to our east. With that said, let's go ahead and bring back up the reflectivity and then the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook. Ooh, we can also bring up the total precipitation for today. So this, when you have thunderstorms, obviously you're going to get different amounts. This is just kind of an estimate of what is the potential by later on this evening. Adding up today's rainfall, showing upwards of around 1 inch or 2 possible over southern Indiana. And also later on today in Kentucky, you get a good inch or 2. That's going to put a strong dent in the drought conditions across the area. So there you can see that is the total rainfall. Back to the reflectivity here. This is around 10, 11 o'clock. So both of the weather models here, we looked at the NAM 3 kilometer, the HRRR, have the heavier rain starting to move off to the east later on tonight as we approach midnight. This is around 1 o'clock in the morning. Sliding off to the east. Let me bring up the 48-hour high resolution rapid refresh weather model, taking this into tomorrow morning, see if it kind of matches up. So it also has that rain mainly off to our south tomorrow morning. And again, it looks like the model's giving us some drier time for tomorrow. So it's definitely not going to be a washout for our Tuesday. Do have it at about a 30% chance of a shower for tomorrow. So a drier day. And then as we go into tomorrow night, there you can see that rain ramping up out to the west. So it does look like the rain chances start to ramp up tomorrow evening here. All right, Beverly, thanks for letting us know. And Alice Young, we got a little shower here in Lebanon, Kentucky. Yeah, we'll do another live tour of the radar here coming up after we take a look at the weather models. And we are going into tomorrow night if you're following along here. This is at 10 p.m. So both of the weather models have decent amount of dry time for tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. And then towards tomorrow evening, we start to see this next disturbance moving in on the east side of this upper level low pressure system. That is also going to keep us pretty wet as we head into our Wednesday and Thursday. So let's go back to the 24th. This is the NAM weather model. So there you can see wet conditions here midweek. This is 2 p.m. Wednesday. This is at 5 p.m. Wednesday. So basically, you got this low pressure system, the storm system, sitting right on top of us here midweek on Wednesday. And then as we go into Thursday, the center of this system is starting to move to the east, but wrapping around still some showers across the area for Thursday. Should be pretty light stuff on Thursday. And with the clouds and the rain around, temperatures should be held into the 70s. So this shows the cooler conditions that we'll have across the area with kind of the gloomy conditions with the clouds and the rain that we'll have around the area for Thursday. So there you go. Now we're going to move toward, so that is as far out as the NAM goes, but now we'll switch into the GFS weather model and we'll stay here for Thursday. It also shows some of the rainfall lingering around the region for our Thursday. Now into Friday we go. I will say there are some differences in the weather models. There you can see mostly dry conditions here for Friday. So that is the trend that the European weather model and the Canadian weather model have, as well as we start to dry things out as that rain begins to move off to the east for Friday. So that is, after several days of rain, we might actually want some dry weather this weekend. So this is at 5 p.m. Saturday. Looks pretty quiet across the region. So the weather models are agreeing right now for some dry conditions this weekend. Let me go ahead and bring up the temperature map as we zoom back in. So this is at 5 p.m. Saturday, showing temperatures here in the upper 70s for most of the area. So not too shabby for our first autumn weekend. By the way, again, happy fall. It begins at 2:19 this afternoon with the autumnal equinox today. So summer is gone, guys. All right, bringing up here the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for today. Should be popping up. Let's see. All right, we'll wait a second on that. All right, we've got, let me try to bring up day 2. The data is not loading on this one. Bear with me just a second. Okay, by the way, just since this is popping up, here is Hurricane Gabrielle that has been strengthening. I believe now Category 3, could become a Category 4, but thankfully just heading out to the northeast in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and not going to be bothering us. All right, let me try one more time, see if we can get the, there's the SPC, Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for today. The Storm Prediction Center is a division of the National Weather Service that looks across the United States to see where severe weather might happen. So this looks like east of I-65 in Kentucky, especially towards Lexington. Late today into the evening time is where we could see a couple of these stronger thunderstorms that might pack some hail, some gusty winds, some isolated damaging wind gusts, and some heavy rainfall, of course, and some lightning and thunder. So level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories for areas east of I-65, and then level 1 out of 5, that darker green area for southern Indiana, Louisville, and areas west of I-65 in Kentucky, level 1 out of 5. So a lower risk of severe weather. So small chance that we could see a couple of stronger thunderstorms, especially just off to the east later on today. Tomorrow, let's see if we can bring up tomorrow's risk of severe weather. Going to day 2 here. No severe weather risk for southern Indiana here from the Storm Prediction Center for our Tuesday. That risk of severe weather greater off to our southwest over Arkansas. All right. Now, bringing back up our live radar. How's your Monday morning, everybody? Here at 10:31. Tina Nelson saying my lawn says thank you for the rain. Mine as well. And Cheyenne Kurtz, how do you think the weather will be in Northeast Ohio? Level 2 out of 5 for today. So we can bring that back up here before we do another tour of the radar. So Central Ohio here, Cheyenne, is level 2. But once you get up towards northeastern Ohio, towards Cleveland, it's just level 1 there. So overall, low severe weather risk. And we can bring up the reflectivity for later on today in that severe weather risk area. So this is at 6 p.m. So again, from Lexington up to Columbus, Central Ohio, it looks like a chance for some of those stronger thunderstorms. This is at 8 p.m. today. So northeastern Ohio, just on the edge of some of those stronger thunderstorms. So there you can see that. This is at 9 p.m. Christian Walker, got a good morning from Christian Walker. Got some rain there in Indianapolis. Not expecting severe weather for you there up in Indy, Christian. Should be in good shape there. All right, we'll do the live radar again, and then we'll take a look at your forecast before we start to wrap things up here on this Monday, September the 22nd, the first day of fall. And there we go. Let's bring it back up here. There's a live sweep right out of Fort Knox. Live radar here. And the rain is coming down pretty good, especially in southern Indiana and some pockets across the area. So starting off to the northeast here in Jefferson County, Indiana, DuPont down to Madison. Madison, you're about to get that good shower moving through your downtown area. Just passed over Hanover. And that rain up 3 and 7 to North Vernon. There in Jennings County getting wet. You've got some more heavy rain heading toward Seymour, Brownstown, and there you can see that rain just out to the west of you guys here in Austin and Scottsburg. So more of that rain going to come down at a heavier clip here pretty soon. Light rain at the moment in Bedford and Mitchell, but you can see that will likely be picking up with some of that rain moving in from the west, where it's coming down heavier there around Washington and Vincennes, Indiana. And then moving off to the south, just some wet weather throughout Washington and Orange counties, Salem over to Paoli, and getting some heavier rain heading towards Pekin and Borden and Palmyra, Georgetown. A heavy pocket right here as well near Sellersburg, just north of 265. Quiet at the moment here in New Albany, and we can take a live look outside again at some of the wet streets here at the corner of Vincennes and Market, right outside of our Extol Media Studios. And we got a good morning here from John Fox. Lillian Lasley, you have an awesome day as well. Thanks for joining us. Christian Walker's going to be flying on Saturday. Should be in good shape for that, Christian. And then Louisville, mostly dry, and we've got some of this rain just to the east and northeast of Louisville. So just north of LaGrange here in Oldham County, you've got a good pocket of rainfall there in Simpsonville, heading towards Shelbyville, Kentucky, and just to the northeast of Taylorsville. And just a few rumbles of thunder out of this, nothing severe happening as we're looking at the live radar sweep. But there you can see more of that rain. That is going to be drifting our direction here throughout the day today. I'll bring up the bigger view of the radar and satellite. And if you want sunshine, you can see down towards Bowling Green, in Kentucky is where it looks like the clouds have cleared a little bit. But there you can see more of that wet weather on the way today, especially along and north of the Ohio River or southern Indiana, where it's going to be the wettest today. And John Fox has got some quiet weather. Yes, indeed. For now, you guys are in good shape. And Angela Epperson, good morning. Happy first day of fall. Have an awesome day. You as well. Happy fall, y'all. A lot of folks love the fall season. I think might be my second favorite season. All righty. Bye-bye summer here today at 2:19 p.m. Let's bring back up the forecast as we're rolling along. Oops, there we go. All right, so the headlines here for today, for your September the 22nd. Scattered rain and storms will continue. There's multiple rounds today. Might pick up a good inch or two of rainfall, if not today, adding that up by Thursday. We'll see more dry time tomorrow. Excuse me, got a catch in my giddy up. More dry time tomorrow for our Tuesday, especially in the afternoon. Let me take a little drink of water here. There we go. So, wet Wednesday, and then we'll have some more showers around Thursday, and then we should be drying out Friday into this weekend. So, several days this week that'll be fairly wet. Temps should be held in the upper 70s with the clouds and the rain across the area. Nearly 100% chance of that rain today. South wind at around 5 to 15. Patty Brown, thanks for tuning in here this morning. And how many days until autumn begins again today? And average highs in the 60s and 27 days. Halloween, 39 days. Average first flurries in 54 days. The weather jokes were not great today, friends. Did you see the new movie about a tornado? It had a great twist. What is Santa's favorite weather? It's rain, dear. What's a tornado's favorite game? Twister. Not my best work, but that's all right. A lot of weather history, a lot of with of course, tropical history. One of the interesting ones here, and again, you can take a longer look at this when I post this right around noon today on my Facebook page, but 1810, England struck by what possibly was Europe's widest tornado. Modern analysis suggests it was a T4 on the Toro scale. I've never even heard of that. To forecast for today, 78 degrees, scattered rain and thunderstorms, cloudy and a bit cooler thanks to the clouds and rain with temperatures in the 70s. Our sunset at 7:39. Our low tonight, 67 degrees with still some lingering showers likely across the area. But the heavier rain will start to slide to the east, I'd say, as we get closer to around 10, 11 o'clock. And then most of our rain tomorrow morning should be off to the south, closer to the Tennessee state line. I think we'll get a decent break tomorrow afternoon. I got it just at a 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm, but I think that will ramp up tomorrow evening with another round of some showers and thunderstorms moving in for our Tuesday evening, Tuesday night, and then Wednesday here on the 7-day forecast. Looking pretty wet for us with some scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Might up that to about 100% chance of rain by Wednesday. And then some lingering lighter rain showers Thursday, kind of on the backside of this system. And then Friday, just got it at a 20% chance. Hopefully by that time, we'll be able to take that off. And then we look forward to our first weekend of autumn, looking dry, seasonably warm. Average high is now 80 degrees for this time of the year. So dropping to near normal temperatures in the upper 70s, low 80s for Saturday and Sunday, and looking fine into next Monday as well. So again, great to get this rainfall across the area. Definitely what we needed. And there you can see it continuing to come down as I bring this back up. So there's a look at the loop of the radar and satellite. And bring, here is also, whenever you want, you can find our live show happening on extolmag.com/weather. There's the live stream. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button on YouTube, by the way. You never know when the weather might turn a bit more serious, severe weather, or maybe we're tracking snow later on this year, where we might go longer in different parts of the day. You can get those notifications that we'll be live streaming with that. So there's the 7-day forecast posted. The day one severe weather outlook, under level 1 of the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for most of the area east of I-65 has the yellow. That's a slight risk of severe storms. And again, if you go on down, you can see, again, the interactive radar with just a bunch of rain on it. A few lightning strikes, but not too many. So there are some different things you can pop on. There are no watches or warnings or anything like that. Okay, moving right along here on a Monday. Want to thank our partners here at Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. You can get your free estimates here online, and you can call them if you want some more information to check out your roof, perhaps 812-294-3595. Or, of course, they do commercial, residential, new home builds, and they can talk to you about some financial help as well. They also have a job opening here, roofing repair technician, that you can apply for online. There are also some more jobs posted here at Libbs Paving, Libb as in Ben, spaving.com. Go to their career section in the upper right-hand corner. It'll take you right there. You can also level up your career, get those dual credits, high schoolers, your free college credits here at Ivy Tech. So definitely talk to maybe it's your high school counselor or through Prosser. You can definitely get loaded up with those college credits. Powering the workforce right here in our backyard is the Sellersburg campus of Ivy Tech, 9 miles north of downtown Louisville, exit 9 there. And if you go to this page, you can cruise on down here right there and learn about Tuesdays at the Tech. So if you know somebody that is interested in maybe some 2-year programs, 2-year certifications, you can get this in-person assistance Tuesdays at the Tech. You can register for that. Help getting started, Ivy Tech, registering for classes, career development, paying for college, all that good stuff right there. So thanks again to our partners for allowing us to do what we do right here on Extol Weather and Extol Media here in Uptown New Albany. Looking live, look here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. Just taking a look at the much needed gloomy conditions across the area. Beverly saying raining very hard in Borden. We can pop up the radar one last time and show you that as well. Yeah, so some of these downpours are going to be pretty hefty today. Again, maybe one or 2 inches of rainfall out of some of this. So yeah, again, Beverly saying raining very hard there in Borden. Waiting for the radar to load up here. There we go. Try not to do the super fast zoom here. But there you can see, especially down Highway 60. So they're in Starlight towards Bennettsville, Hamburg, Sellersburg, getting in on some of that heavy rainfall out there right now. Pretty quiet in Louisville. And then there you can see just a bunch more rain that'll be moving in from the west. So that is the show this morning. If you missed anything, you watched the replay where we timed out the rainfall and looked ahead with the GFS weather model for later on this week as we begin to dry out Friday and into Saturday. Happy fall. Thankfully, we got some rain to talk about. Definitely going to help the drought conditions across the area for much of the region. Might see, again, 1 to 3 inches of rainfall over the next several days. I think we get a drier break tomorrow before we start to ramp up the rain chances again Wednesday into Thursday. Then we start to dry out Friday. We'll look at the timing and the detail of all of this as we plan out some more rain chances on tomorrow's morning show, Ben at 10. And if you missed it at 9 a.m. this morning, we had my former coworker, Eric King, talking about his book that he wrote, Broken News. So you can check out the replay there on Extol Media on YouTube. Got it on my page as well. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here this morning. We'll see you tomorrow on our first full day of fall. Technically, fall begins this afternoon, though. And we'll see you on the next episode of Ben at 10. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.